Back in the gaff in the kitchen, and today gonna attempt to make some jam. So I'm gonna set the camera up. Hopefully I won't end up with a complete disaster. I've had to literally improvise the camera arrangements. As you can see here, I've got elderberries and a spider hanging off it at the same time. We've got a new resident in the gaff. Yeah, elderberries, and they come from the block basically. And we've got lots and lots of plums. As you know, at the allotment I've had a bumper crop of plums, so we're going to try and make some jam. We've got lots of jars. Well, hopefully I'll have enough, but we've got 8 big flip top jars with seals on. I'm also going to put some fennel seed in there, fennel seed anyway. Got some lemon and jam sugar, as well as normal sugar as hermine. Yes, we're gonna try and make some jam today. I've got lots of plums, and I've probably got more as well, so as to whether I'll make a second batch. But oh, the camera is literally, the phone is literally a plastic tub on top of a bowl with an old ginger beer bottle in the middle for weight, and then it's hanging over the outside. So it's a rather improvised system for doing the video, but I seem to have it in the right place. But it's going to take a while. But we've got to wash the plums first. But I can't get much further away because there's a wall there, the corner of the larder wall or the pantry wall. Anyway, we're going to try and. It should. I've made jam before quite a few times, and normally it's plums, so it should be successful. As to how long it's going to take, I don't know, but we'll turn that fan off. And of course, these are all going to need washing, but these are organic, so nothing's been put on them. And naturally that means that inside there will be extra protein and little bits, so literally got to cut them open one by one and then clean them out, rinse them out, and then they should be good to go. But yeah, first I've got to put them in the sink, and I've basically got to jumble them about and rinse them off. I think I've only had to throw 2 out. 3, make it 3, but we've definitely got enough here for a batch, and if anything we may still have too much for. Yeah, the camera, I did sort of, there's 5, we've still got too many plums. Yeah, but no, 6. Still got way too many plums. Anyway, gonna try and rinse these off now. But it doesn't matter because they're all going to be cooked up in the pot. So, and we've got the big boiler again. As you can see, we've got the big jam boiler that I've used before, because I've done the crab apple jelly. Get rid of that one as well. Still got loads. But of course I'm putting some elderberries in too. and it's just a case of cutting them up really. But this could take a while. I'm not going to mess about, so we'll move these elderberries up further. I've got more plums, but it is just getting everything together. Alright, let's see what we've got in here. Yes, of course. It needs rinsing out. But that's already done, so that's all. It doesn't take much. It's just cut it open, split it, take out the stone basically, and then give it a rinse. But yeah, probably going to be here a while. And that one's totally clean. And of course in the background you can hear Esmaflorine hissing, because we've not only got Esma here today, we've got Fermium as well. So we've got both cats in the gaff today. But currently making plum jam. We're going to go for some plum jam today. And thankfully here I actually have gas, so I can actually cook for myself, unlike the old flat. Oh, and the whole disaster of the road being dug up because a leak was created. Oh, so I'm messing about with the gas supply. Cinnamon, I have cinnamon, but I doubt if I'll put cinnamon in this, to be honest. I mean, I've got spices. Not saying that I won't put something in. We'll see as we go along, really. But I'm just cutting all these plums open. Of course, I've got the Mirabelle plums at the allotment, the little yellow ones, but there's literally everywhere. There's so many that you can forage at the moment. I mean, I've not even been to the country park. You know, the Norwood Country Park, there's probably lots of plums near that hill. And we've got more of these big purple ones at the allotment. That one's clean. So this is only half of them. It may not even be half of them. That plum tree that's the most that one's ever produced so far. And I literally struggled to establish a tree in that place. There's literally a maggot there, extra protein. But we're going to wash them away. You can hear Esmaflorine grumbling in the background. And here she comes. They pretty much tolerate each other, but Fermium has this issue with he has that look in his eyes, and he jumps at her. I don't know whether it's because he wants to play or but they're literally a metre away from each other, so they're not doing too bad. It's not like they're actively hostile against each other. Well, at least Esma's not hostile anyway. Let's see if I can bring up live chat again. Cinnamon in everything. Now, I've actually got garam masala, and I have actually put garam masala in. I'll get rid of that one as well. Garam masala and stuff before. But even when I've done my special popcorn recipe, I actually add garam masala to my popcorn. There's another maggot. Well, thanks for joining me. If you're here, we've done about a third, maybe just under a third of these plums. They're still pretty good. I did have problems with the oven in the past. That it wasn't igniting anymore, and I just couldn't figure it out. I thought maybe the flint or something had gone in it, but I later found out it was electric ignition. It probably still is a flint, I don't know, but yeah. turned out electric ignition, so I had to literally look up the model online and found out there was actually a battery which was right at the bottom in the corner behind the door. The issue is I literally took the whole top of the oven apart to get into it to find out what was wrong with it, and I didn't find anything wrong, but I suppose it did help really because I got to clean out the top of the oven. But it wasn't even anything to do with that. There's nothing to do with that. Literally all that happened, the battery ran out and I had to replace it. Oh, so the oven's back to normal now, thankfully. Oh, Esma's down here, the old girl. She's making demands. She wants something, probably just me. She just simply wants me. But yeah, basically just slicing plums open at the moment, cleaning them out, and then they will go into the boiler, the jam boiler. The fruit themselves are more of a greenish yellow internally, but the skins on the plums themselves are a very deep purple, so that may contribute to the colour of the jam at the end. But I think that the elderberries that I'm going to add are going to change the colour a lot more than the skins of the plums. Now that one's very clean. That's a very clean one. Plum jam. It's funny, really. I can eat plum jam, but I've had plum crumble or pie or something like that before, and maybe my tastes have changed now. But when I was younger, I wasn't really into the taste of plum pie or crumble. I might be all right now. Oh, some of them were a bit squishy. This one, I only have half of that because one half is a bit too squishy. But I'm hoping I'm going to feel all right to do this. But you don't have to stick around indefinitely because this is going to take quite some time. Quite some time indeed. We've done about half of the plums now. And then after that it will be stripping the elderberries off. And I've literally, there it is. I thought I'd lost the knife. Doesn't take long, does it? That one's not, that's not very good, that one. But I thought I'd do a live video. It's just easier, really. I don't have much in the way of room on the phone now these days, and I'm due a new one, but I've just not bothered, to be honest. That's a really big one, the size of that one. That's really big. And it's very clean inside as well, very clean. That's a nice big one. And another one that's plain. But it's something I wanted to do for a while. Fig jam, yeah, figs. You're supposed to be able to grow them in this country, but I think it's just the seasons in UK. The summers aren't long enough, or it's just the climate's not really good enough to ripen figs in the UK. Although people do grow them and they seem to work. Maybe it's just positioning, to be honest. Where you have them. There's another clean one. No, that one's not great. We've done about 3/4 of these plums now. Hello! It caught me in the gaff in the kitchen. We're making plum jam today. I'm going to make some Victoria plum jam, and I'm adding a little bit of elderberry to it as well. And I've got some fennel seeds. I mean, you will probably notice them in the mix. I'm not putting too many in, but if people can avoid the occasional soft crunch, it should be all right. And they will give a bit of a aniseed taste. Let's see if this one's any good. It's a bit soft. It's soft, but it's clean. We're getting there now. But crab apples last October, oh, flipping heck, it was not an easy. No, that's no good. It wasn't an easy job to process all them crab apples last year. The funny thing is, I've still got some of the crab apple jelly, but I've not actually ate all of it. I gave most of it away, and I've still got 2 lots, and I've still yet to get these scones or cream to even have with that crab apple jelly. So it's been almost a year. I've not even had any myself, which is a bit strange. So I've still got one in here. As you can see, I've still got a little crab apple jelly. They're literally a foot away from each other. Not even 2 foot. She's staring at him and hissing at him. I think it's just a dominance thing, because this is actually where she resides, and she's trying to put him in his place, which I think is right really. So that's the crab apple jelly. But I've yet to even try it with cream and scones or anything like that. They're literally 2 foot apart from each other. Oh boy. But this is a house, so it's to be expected. Oh, Long Johnson. Oh, Long Johnson. Oh, she's funny. And now she's the one that's moved off. Oh dear. It's crazy, isn't it? There's a little one here. Try and take the stone out. It's all right. It's not A1 perfect, but we'll use it, because you won't really notice it in the mix. Yeah, we got both of them here today. We've got Fermium and Esma. And that one's not great. It's a bit too small, and it's a little mouldy inside. So this is why you've got to check these things, because you won't be using all of them, but by the end it should be all right. I've still got more than enough. But they're both here, so they want to be in presence of DJ. And that one again is a bit mouldy inside. But then again, these plums have been sitting in the fridge for about a week. Some of them maybe even a little bit longer than that, but they have been chilled. That one's all right. That's nice and clean, that one. Wait, see, all he did was move a bit too fast, and he scared her, and she started hissing. It's like a staring match now. There's a nice clean one. Wow! So almost done with these cutting plums up now. But thanks for joining me if you're here. We're gonna make some jam today. We've got this here. I've just done this. it's basically an old candle holder. We've got a globe from one of them LED lights, and it's got the crackle glass in the round top. And basically, I used it for putting water in it, and then it evaporated under plants, but it built up over time, and now I've put citric acid in it because I'm trying to get through all that lime scale. I'm going to clean it out, and then I'm taking that to the old flat, to the garden, because I've got like a tier thing, and I've got about 5 of them, and I'm filling them with water for the birds. What's this? That one's a bit too far gone. Another small one, but it's all right. Only thing is, this is where the camera has to stay. I can't really, well, I could pick it up, but it's pointing at me. I can see the chat, it's pointing at me, so the camera is actually, is it reversed? I think the camera's reversed or something like that. But I can't really pick it up all the time. So we've got, that one's too far gone. We've got one left. We've got one plum left. Oh, that should be enough. By the time I've added the water and the sugar, maybe could have done with another 5 more, but we don't really have them unless I've missed something. No, I don't think we've missed anything. No, I think that is it. So that's basically all the plums cut and washed. Got some pork pies there if I'm hungry. So now we've got the elderberries, and now I'm going to strip all these off. It won't take too long. We've got a bowl there. I'm going to try and take all these off and put them in the bowl. Hopefully it shouldn't matter too much. I've got little bits of stem, but we'll try and roll them all off, the bracts or branches or whatever they are. Seems to be working quite well. And these were just off the block, and they came from on the block basically, at the end of the block. These are probably what gonna add to the colour, like elderberry royal colour, as they call it. People do make wine out of these as well, and it probably is possible to make wine out of elderberries. And you've got the flowers, they say make cordial, but I think that's normally elderflower cordial, not so much elderberry, although you may be able to make both. I won't be at all surprised if you can make cordial out of both the flowers and later the berries. But now that they're coming off these little branches, there doesn't look to be so many, but there is. It won't take much to colour the jam, to be honest. I've just got to feel okay for the rest of the day, and I'm going to be standing up a lot. I don't really have a high chair that I can sit on, sadly, and no, my legs ain't brilliant, to be honest. So I need to get these done so I can walk about a little bit in the kitchen. But yeah, at the end of the block there is quite a few elder shrubs, and they seem to be spreading underground quite a bit, because I didn't notice them about 5 or 6 years ago. They seem to have propagated themselves in the derelict areas near the petrol station, basically. firmly. I'm having a good scratch. There's a nice big one. And the rest are just laying there on the worktop, basically. So basically trying to roll all these berries off, strip it. This is quite a big one. But while you've got the food out there, it's best to use it, really. Take advantage of it. And luckily I got quite a few plums this year. So it's worth making jam. Because when you're on your own, you're not going to properly cook for yourself. You're not going to make a pie or a crumble for yourself. There's no point making so much mess and using gas for something that's going to be so temporary. You may as well make a product that's going to keep, basically. Because me being on my own, there's just not really any point properly cooking for myself. It's very sad, but it's just the way it is. And last week I did actually make a big batch of vegetable soup. I didn't have any meat of any kind, but I had tomatoes, onion, garlic, celery, potato, basically all that kind of stuff. And I just made some vegetable soup, and that kept me going for a couple of days. But again, by the time you finish making it and eating it and made it in the same boiler, basically, it's just a mess afterwards. And it's all time consuming, and you can see why people in the modern time, they don't bother, or they try not to bother to cook so much, because they don't have the time. Not so much me, I'm disabled, so I'm not really able to work at the moment, but a lot of families, all they do, they have very little time, constantly working, trying to make ends meet, basically. And that's probably why we have this culture where you order food in, and ultimately it costs more money to order your food in, but people have to work and work and work to survive, to provide for themselves. I don't have that issue. I don't have any family, so whatever I grow, I'll grow it for myself and grow it for other people. Yeah. Free soup. Elderberry syrup, cordial, elderberry cordial. Yeah, it's a good idea to freeze soup, but the thing is, I don't really have a freezer. I mean, this one here, I've got a nice box, and the freezer at the old flat is bigger, but I have an issue with the one at the old flat because all it does is keep frosting up and frosting up and frosting up, and I keep having to chip out ice all the time. I can barely open the drawers because it's got about 5 drawers, and in between each drawer you've got these metal things, they stick out like that, and all they do is constantly build up ice, and it's a nightmare. And I'm pretty sure years ago we didn't have this issue. The cooling element, the freezing element, was at the back in the older models. See, we've got the last of these elderberries here. I should wash them really, but do I have anything to actually? Oh, hang on. Yeah. Oh, it's not very big, is it, to be honest? Liable to crush a lot of them or lose a bit of juice, but we'll have to give it a go. Firmin's being a good boy on the litter tray. And I think that is about it. So we've got this little sieve, tiny little sieve, and it's barely got half of elderberries in there, but they will change the colour of the jam vastly and give it a richer taste as well. But I'm probably going to be here for at least 3 hours, my guess. Right, we've got the jam boiler. Am I going to be adding anything else to it? I really don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's just going to be the plums and maybe a bit of fennel seed, some lemon and the sugar basically, and that is about it. Add a bit of water because we're going to need a little bit of water in the mix as well. But no, I think it's going to be pretty basic. And I've got normal sugar as well. I've got 2 bags. We won't need 2 bags. And in the corner up the top in the cupboard there's actually another jam sugar up there, but it all depends if I want to make more, maybe of different plums. We'll have to see. But I think now it's just a case of shoving it all in the boiler, and then we can start making this jam, this plum jam. Probably give one to Tony P if he wants it, maybe another one to Linda. We'll have to see who we can offload this stuff to. And of course I'll have one. Whether I'll actually use it or not, I don't know. But now that they're all going in, it's looking pretty chock-a-block. That's about right, to be honest. That is about right. New fridge, yeah. I keep thinking my fridge has got issues, but then I realise it's just that although it's not cold, the issue is the lights. You get the internal light, and for some strange, obscure reason, the internal light always blows endlessly, and it's just so tiresome. And I'm going to get my hair brushed because I need to brush my hair. Well, I could make another batch of jam, but I'll probably have to get even more jars or look for some somewhere. Maybe there's something at the old flat. But they might be yellow plums. That feels a bit better. Right. So basically we got the elderberries now. There's about half a little sieve full. Shove them in there, and they're probably gonna colour this more than the actual plums. I mean, I might be wrong, it's the skins really, so it's gonna be a nice rich purpley red, but the flesh of the plums is really gonna. Right, what we got here, by the time these have all cooked up in the mix, these fennel seeds, you'll notice them, but it should be able to get away. It wouldn't be something that would bother me, but they'll give it a little bit of, I'm not going to put too many in. I need to be very careful with how many of these I put in, to be honest. I think that'll do for the whole batch. Yeah, that'll do. Don't want to go stupid. Lemon juice, we'll put some lemon juice in there as well. And then it's just a case of adding some water, I think, and then getting it on the boil. And then when this is reduced, then I'll add the sugar later, basically. So we'll get some water added to this. But thanks for joining me. We're currently making plum jam. That's got to go back to the old flat. That's a food container, freed. And we're just topping it up with water now. Oh, get active. That should be enough. Shake it about a bit. And that should do. That's pretty heavy now. That's pretty heavy now. Can't really see in there properly, but I could pick the phone up, but it's just going to be too much of a menace to put it all back together again. So we'll stuff this on the cooker, and then it's just a case of lighting it. So we're 3:15 in the afternoon here, basically GMT. So 3:15. I can't see this being finished until about, I'd say 3 hours, 6:15. I mean, hard to say really. We may add some extra stuff to it during the process, but right, let's light her up. Woo! I don't know why that happened. And that is going to take a while, to be honest, to actually get up to temperature and boil, because I didn't use kettle boiled water. I'd never be able to. It'd just be a waste of electricity really, heating up kettles. Talk about kettles, I've got to get it from the living room. Oh yes, while I'm here, the new gaming headphones, well, they're not new because someone threw them out, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. I have yet to test the microphone on them, but if the microphone works as well, there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. But anyway, got some new headphones that I can use with the computer, so I can listen to music without blaring it over the speakers. But also, I mean, if I do chat with anyone eventually and that mic works, that will be helpful, but we'll have to see really. And they're Turtle Beach, so that's a pretty good make that I know of. Turtle Beach. There was a name. Air Force Recon 50. Turtle Beach Air Force Recon 50 is the make. And I've looked online, it's various prices from cheap from over £10 to almost 60, so it's very varied, but normally they're cheaper, but they're pretty good. I've already tried them a couple of times, so it's nice to finally have some music back in my life, or personal music, even though I wouldn't be walking about in the street attached this to an old iPhone, because I'd have this thing sticking out in me face. I mean, I don't know whether if I got a call. The issue is modern phones don't have jack plugs anymore, which is another part of the freedom we've lost. No jack plug. But anyway, yeah, very good result to just find these thrown out at the back. Incredible, really, because they're just what I needed. And it's very, very, very hard to get anything like this in the shops. Anything in the shops you get nowadays, it's all Bluetooth wireless. Every single thing is Bluetooth wireless. You will never, in the UK, you'll find it very hard to find anything with a cable in a shop. It's just the way it is. Yeah, curls. Yeah, they're red ones. But I remember years ago I had an old Windows 98 computer, a retro computer that I probably found on the street. I can't remember which one it was, but it had a Turtle Bay music card in it, and I remember at the time I loved to play Sid Meier's Colonisation, and this Turtle Bay sound card in it. Honestly, I've never heard Colonisation so good. I do miss that game. I did love Sid Meier's Colonisation, but it would be a miracle for me to find a working Windows 98 computer now, or earlier, to be honest. On the street it's just impossible. I'd literally have to look online and find a reconditioned one, something like that. But that's all I used a retro computer for back in the day, was just to play Sid Meier's Colonisation. I thought that I did have the discs to DJ Puff's Volcanic Capers, but I've not been able to find the discs. And I also had Steel Empire or Cyber Empires, which was Silicon Knights game. I thought I had them all, but no. I've still got the original discs for Colonisation, but of course that means you've got to have the old floppy disk drive, so I may or may not ever be able to play that game again. But as you heard, DJ Puff the third comes from DJ Puff's Volcanic Capers, which was basically an old DOS platform jumping game in the early 90s. So if you look at DJ Puff's Volcanic Capers, you'll see what it is. And the music was really good on it, but using a keyboard or a joystick, I mean, that game was a complete fucking nightmare to play, to be honest. It was infuriating almost, having to use keys to jump to different levels, avoiding mobs, you know, and it was it was just unnecessarily tough. And I did enjoy Cyber Empires or Steel Empire game on PC on DOS. It was like a mecha robot type thing, and you'd move into other areas. Your job was to take over other areas with mecha armies, and you had all kinds of different robots, from Mercury, Cyclops, Dragon, Achilles, Mars Type 4, Hercules, Titan, Crossbolt, Behemoth. That's probably all of them, to be honest. I did like that game as well. I did do campaigns on it to an extent, but I never went as far as to complete the whole map. I prefer to just select a single mech and do a survival run, so it'd just be me on my own defending myself in a cityscape. So you had like a city area, just be me. My favourite was the Mars Type 4 mech in Cyber Empires or Steel Empire, and I'll be in the cityscape. You'd literally have a building and I'd destroy the piece on the corner, so I'd literally be diagonal shooting through a gap in between the corner of a building, and I'd just be waiting for them to all come up, and I'd just be firing at them with a neutrino cannon as they came up. And you'd be surprised the amount of mechs on Steel Empire that I'd done a test with. The Mars Type 4 was the one I went the furthest in survival, mainly because they couldn't really get to me when I was at the diagonal, just firing at mobs. I mean, I used to like Steel Empire. The only PC game that I remember actually completing back in the day early on was a game called Arnie 2, and it was again like a shoot 'em up, tiny little man. You had to go around and shooting and maybe saving. I think you had to save prisoners. And that Arnie 2 game was, I must have completed it about 3 or 4 times. It's the only one that I completed, apart from Sid Meier's colonisation. I did declare independence in Sid Meier's colonisation. And I got pretty advanced with colonisation because I used to know the cheat code later on, so that made life a lot easier. There was a cheat code to it, but also on Sid Meier's colonisation you had editable text files, so basically you could go into the text files and you could change things around to give you more moves, more units, give them more attack or defence, or increase your cargo, or all kinds of stuff. I used to do that. And then later I found that there was a patch called the Col V30 patch on Sid Meier's colonisation, and then I used that to make my own worlds. Basically I'd make my own custom world. So if there are pieces of land type that were better, like plains or grassland or savannah, and you add your own hills and mountains, basically you make your own world basically, and then you save it as America 2 map, and then you could use your own spawned world, and then it automatically adds the natives to the map. The strange thing was when you done that, you made your own custom world and played the game. Not all of the natives would be on the map, which was a bit strange. I think it's because in the original America map on colonisation, they're all put in a certain place in the world. And if you build an island or a landform and none of it is in that certain place on the original designated area for Indians on the map, they don't show up, basically. I even tried to create extra Indian tribes or natives, because there were actually on the list. You had extra Indians on the list, but you had to also assign a colour to them, and I really couldn't figure out how to add extra Indians to the list. And you could only do so much before it broke the game. It wouldn't actually work. You could only do a certain amount and then it wouldn't start the game. So you'd have to go back into the editable text files and colonisation and literally undo what you've done to make it run again. So this is heating up. I can already smell it. the the plums, the sweetness. It already smells nice, and it's not even at boiling temperature. Cool, yeah, it smells lovely already, to be honest. And we've only just started. We've got a bit of the fennel seed in there, and the elderberries, they'll pretty much disappear by the end. By the time of the end, it's just about to hit boiling, I think now. But yeah, was never really much of a gamer, and if I was, it was only on PC. I did play some stuff. I did have an Indiana Jones game as well, the Temple of Doom, I think it was. No, Emperor's Tomb. Sorry, Temple of Doom was the flipping film, isn't it? Indiana Jones in the Emperor's Tomb. I had the demo on a disc. There was a demo on the disc, and later I actually got the full game. But even when I got the full game, I didn't complete the whole lot of it. I think I went into about 2 or 3 areas like I did in the demo. But I did enjoy a bit of Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb at the time. That was the early 2000s. So I have games, just not much really, and I was never into consoles. I was never into consoles. I started with a Philips video pack. That was my first computer, a Philips video pack with the cartridges in the top. I used to put the cartridges in the top, and it's very, very, very basic. Literally a cowboy shooting bullets, and if you got it into the right position, the bullet would keep bouncing in between 4 trees like this. Oh dear. Or the one, the one where you've got the two bars that go up and down, and then you basically hit the particle across that one. Or baseball, there was a baseball one on the Philips video pack. Yeah, I've only got the iMac now. I always started with PC and then I went over to iMac, but I don't think I'd have the patience now and the concentration to deal with the modern technology. Pong, yeah, it had that on it as well. There are all kinds of different games on it. Oh, I can smell this already, them plums. Yeah, it's up to boiling now. We're at boiling point. Oh. And with any luck, all these skiing one, I'm pretty sure I had that one as well, I'm pretty sure I had the skiing one too. Yeah, seems very familiar. Very familiar. But even now I can see the colour in this, and this is before the elderberries have exploded. That's if they do. I'm going to have to... We had those at school, the skating one, yeah. I think quite a few computers had the same kind of game, to be honest. I don't remember all the ones I had, but I know that the Philips video pack was unique for its time and quite well developed, to be honest. And relatively obscure, you would never really have heard much about it. It was all Atari and Amstrad and Spectrum and other stuff. You would never really hear much about a Philips video pack. God blimey. Oh. Yeah, we're well away. I mean, it might not take so long. I mean, I may have to add a little bit more later, water-wise. I don't know if I'm going to be adding anything else to it. I don't think it's necessary, to be honest. It might just be a case of adding a bit more water. But yeah, I went into a rant basically about gaming, but I do very little gaming now. I mean, did have a time when, of course, we had the Flash games, which was before Facebook went to complete shite. We'd have the Flash games on Facebook. You'd have stuff like Farmville, Farmtown, Yeovil, Happy Island. My favourite was called Island Paradise. I used to play a lot of them. There's one called Pot Farm. Pot Farm was nice and chilled, you know. Not that I smoke pot, I just like the aesthetic of it. Yeah, yeah. But before all that disappeared, I mean, I used to like the games attached to Facebook, but now that site has gone to complete shite, basically. Flash Player died. I mean, recently I did try to get back into Yeovil. I don't know, not recently. It was a while back now, but it was very broken. I loaded into Yeovil, but it was very broken, and somehow there were still people on there. But after the demise of Flash Player in 2020, you know, and even before then, I mean, losing Pot Farm was the toughest, really. But I've not even gone on there to see if there's anything that's replaced any of them. I've not bothered. All I really play now is Gaia Online and Zomg, and that's basically only to go there for the dev meet on Friday, Saturday. Well, it's Saturday at 1 AM for me. If I had the time to be on now, more I would, but it's very quiet on Gaia Online and Zomg. But it's still nostalgic, it's still beautiful. The avatars are infinite almost, and it's still worth going on there because you can have such a good time on Gaia Online on Zomg. It's just very quiet, but Lanz is doing his best to get Zomg, the game, to work with Ruffle, so that way you can go into Google Chrome. Yeah. I watch a lot of Twitch streams as well. I watch a lot of Twitch streams, or have done in the past, and like Elden Ring and Warhammer 40k and Ragnarok, the God of War, and Expedition 33 was another one. There's so many different games, and they all seem to hit. Even Lethal Company, I still love a bit of Lethal Company just for the shenanigans of the people that play it. It's not gremlinery and trolling each other, but it's so much fun watching these people on Lethal Company playing it. It's just fucking hilarious. But Twitch streams are good if you want to be entertained while someone's playing a game, definitely. It's not just for gaming though. I spend way too much time watching Twitch streams. Maybe not so much recently. Right, I think I'm going to be able to add the sugar now. So we're making plum jam, basically. Well, with elderberry, actually, plum and elderberry. Baldur's Gate, yeah, Witcher 2. I have seen Baldur's Gate 3, but I mean, it's a great game. Not sure if it's my thing, but I've definitely watched it. Also, I've seen Awesome Pawsome and D-Man playing Hades 2, and I found Hades 2 quite entertaining as well. I really like Hades 2. That was quite good. Yeah, and the music on a lot of these these games are pretty much top notch. But Expedition 33, that came out of fucking nowhere, and everyone was mad for it, literally. Right, sugar, I think. I'm doing my best to keep on top of chat, Hermione. Thanks for sticking with me. It's not gardening today, it's jam making. I'm hoping to finally do a garden update at the old flat, but it'll have to be another live video. and I doubt the picture quality will be as good as this. We're using in-gaff Wi-Fi, so it's going to be pretty good quality. But at the old flat, it struggles to get through the wall, to be honest. But I will still do an update anyway. Yeah. I mean, I used to I make jam quite a bit. I've also made my own wine. I've made my own home wine as well. My father used to make his own wine. He made a bit when I was still in Addiscombe, but I think he done it before I was around, to be honest. But I've got his winemaking kit. You'd have to order all this shit online now, to be honest, all this winemaking stuff, because I don't know if you can get stuff like winemaking in the shops anymore. We used to have it in Wilkinson's. They had a limited range of winemaking stuff in Wilkinson's, but that shop's gone now. So you probably have to order a load of stuff online. Liquor, making liquor. It's not how it's spelt, but I know what he's saying. Anyway, we've got this sugar now. I'm gonna, Riggs, grab the cat. Here she is. Here's the old grizzler. My old girl. Oh, grumble, grumble. She always grumbles more when Firmin's here. Right, this sugar's going in now. And she's still all over me. She's very friendly. Even more so as she's got older. So this sugar goes in now. That is basically the whole bag, so it's blood Luxembourg. So that's basically the whole bag. And believe it or not, that will bulk it up. So if you need a shot of sugar, miss my cat, yeah. Cats are very good. I prefer them over human beings in most cases, to be honest. And now that the sugar's in, this is when it'll really start to shine visually. It's really going to start shining. As to whether the elderberries actually break up or crack up properly, I don't know, but we'll have to see. You can hear it's completely changed the sound of the boiler now. It's hissing almost. I might have to turn it down, to be honest. Great recipe. Yeah, I'm going to have to turn this down a little bit, I think. I might add a drop more water, but it won't be much. Oh, zip. Flying without a license. Naturally. Oh, my head is okay. I'm slightly sore, but that's a daily thing, really. I'm always like this. Always feel slightly sore. Tickled Tetra. Oh, Tetra. Thanks for joining us. It's good to see you. You've caught me live. Tickled Tetra, Tickled DJ. That's the inside joke. I don't know where it came from, but we're doing it. Just a little bit of water, but I'll add another half of the normal sugar. I'm currently making plum jam, but I've added elderberry as well. We've got elderberry in with the plum. We've got a little bit of fennel seed, and we've got lemon juice, and I've just added the sugar. And it's boiling up. It's just basically a case of waiting for this to boil up. Yeah, you've caught me. You've caught DJ live. Thanks for coming. Hoping my back doesn't play up too much because I'm sort of like this all the time and I'm not getting any younger. But it's going to be here a while, just boiling and boiling and boiling. And I will add half of this one as well. I think I'll normally just add a bag and a half. So basically, we'll get it out. You get a particular type of sugar, and it's actually with pectin. It's got added pectin, but certain fruits already have pectin. But they may not actually have enough pectin on a level that will set jam, and I haven't really looked it up. I mean, plums may already have pectin in them, but I'm gonna. Well, I've already added this stuff, so it's cane jam sugar with pectin, and that's basically I've emptied a whole bag into there. And then I'm going to just add half of the normal stuff. And this, I may make some different ones, but I might have to get even more jars. And Tetra, I don't know if he's still here, I think he just left. But like I said, I made crabapple jelly last year. And I've not even used that. I've got one left. It's in a vintage pot that I found. Cleaned it up, pretty much mint condition. I've still yet to get cream and scones to even try that. And I've got one at the old flat as well. But I wonder who else will turn up. We never know. I mean, I could have let Irish Louise know that I was going live, but people should be getting alerts, to be honest. I don't know whether they are, but you know, smash that bell button, I suppose. We'll see if these elderberries start discharging some of their colour. It's already looking very, very, very rich. Very, very rich in colour. And the plums have completely disintegrated. Completely disintegrated. Yeah, the special sugar. Yeah, the special sugar. Yeah, the jam sugar. I would have loved my own lemon tree or something. I'll have to turn this down again because it's starting to foam up now. That would be the sugar. But yeah, now we pretty much have you can see the plum is almost completely gone now. It's almost in solution. And we've got the skins. So if you're tough enough to have jam with skins, you're doing well. And turn it down again because it's still foaming up. It is the sugar. If anything, I think I'm going to have too much. We might even have too much, to be honest. Don't know. By the time I've added all the sugar in and the moisture, reducing it down, we'll have to see. I may end up actually having to empty some of the others because I've got more. See this one here. I've got more. What's in here just looks like lavender, to be honest. Not that it actually smells like lavender. Keep the skin in, yeah. Well, it'd be way too much trouble to cut it off, and even when they've broken down into the jam itself, to actually remove the skins would be a complete nightmare. But this was a previous batch that I made. This was a mixed plum jam, and this is August 2014, so that was flipping 11 years ago. And these plums came from the Norwood Country Park, like I just said, the hill at the country park. And they called it Bottle Digger's Delight because I went there looking for old bottles and ended up finding plums instead. I don't know if it's actually backwards or not, but 2014 Bottle Digger's Delight. So I may end up having to use extra ones, we'll have to see. I do have extra jars. I don't have labels to go on top of them, but not that I know of anyway. I have potentially 2 extra jars. I mean, this isn't going to be like the crabapple jelly where I use a muslin bag to literally strain everything out of it, you know. And the last batch, the crabapple, I was literally just standing there with a spoon, and I was literally clearing off all the scum off the top and the impurities. And by the end, I mean, it was so rich anyway. It wasn't just crabapple. I had something else in there with it. I don't remember what, but it wasn't clear. But it had extra something in it, which changed the colour. I can't remember what it was that I put in to change the colour. But I won't be putting this through a muslin. I mean, you probably could, but why bother with? You could make a plum jelly, but it's just, what's the point? Not really meant to. It makes sense with crabapple, but not so much. This plum. Just wish I had something to sit on, really, but I don't have a high chair or anything, so I got to hope that my legs and especially my back hold up, to be honest. Get myself a pork pie while I'm at it, get myself something to nibble on. Esma's here, Firmin's right behind her. No, don't start. She will get used to him eventually. But I wanted company for old Esma. She's what, 16 this year? She may even be 17 this year. So she's definitely getting on. And then you've got Firmium, who's about to hit 2. She is a bit grumbly, but he's keeping his distance. He just has these moments where that look in his eyes, and he jumps at her and she doesn't like it. See if we can catch some of these elderberries on the edge and try and squeeze them a bit, but I think they're very mobile in the juice. I think they're going to break up themselves eventually anyway. They look like they are starting to break up. But it might take a bit longer for them to shift their colour and their goodness into the mix. They look like they're doing their thing. Meow. Meow. Where's the big boy? Hey, where's the big boy? Oh, look at this monster. Look at this panther. Oh, look at this big boy, eh? He's a big boy. Mmm. Oh, big boy. Oh. Mmm. Firmium Ludwig Stormerson. He's a big boy. Oh, he makes old Esmaflorine look like a dwarf, don't you? Yeah. So floofy. And he got big long legs. He's a lanky boy, aren't you? You got big long legs. Yeah. You got big long legs. He's very fast, boy. He's very fast. Yeah, we're doing well, aren't we, boy? Yeah? Oh, what a monster panther this is, eh? Yeah. Oh. Right. Might have to add the rest of that sugar in a minute. Well, half of it. I think we'll only need half of it. And that should do. I shouldn't have to add any more. I mean, I had to throw about 8 or 10 plums out, so that did reduce the quantity a bit, but not by much. It would have been nice to have not had to throw that lot out. We'll see how far this goes, to be honest. Yeah, it's definitely black cats for me. I'll still see Mecatee occasionally. A couple of times she's actually just turned up in the old flat garden, and other times she'd not follow me immediately, but she'd probably smell me in the vicinity from 1 or 2 blocks away, and then she'll turn up. Or I'll see her late at night, so I'll be walking through that alley or back again. She's somewhere in that area. She's a stray, and then basically I'll have to go back to the greenhouse, because she follows me, you see. I go back to the greenhouse and give her treats and kibbles and licky licks and sticks and that kind of thing, but she doesn't stick around. She'll eat it all, and then eventually she'll walk off again. And then after she's done, I'll walk her back to the alleyway, so she follows me there, and then she'll walk back with me, so I'll take her back again, and then I'll get the bus or tram back to the gaff, basically. It's getting a bit sweaty in here, isn't it? Flipping heck. But that's standing on top of the jam, I guess. It's very humid. There is a little bit of scum on the top, but there's no point spooning it off, to be honest, because it's so dense and there's so much in it. It's going to be a lot in there, so I'm probably going to have to use more jars. Right, let's put the other half in. That is it, I think. That's that. Shove that in the cupboard. And now it's just a case of boiling it and waiting for it. And of course I'll have to do a test. Basically put the spoon in, take a bit of the jam out, and then leaving it to cool, basically. So we get this plate here, you're supposed to chill them, really. You're supposed to put them in the ice box or the fridge or something like that to chill the plate, but yeah, I probably should have done that initially, in the beginning. Merlin, yeah, well, some strays are like that. Wild and feral. I'm pretty sure that Mecca does have an owner, but she's one of these cats where visits so many people. They all think they're the flipping owner. I'm pretty sure I know where the owner is, but it's just, this is what happens when a person gets a cat and they don't actually care for it. They use it like an embellishment. And the area that she's in is at the back of shops. It's the alleyway at the back of shops. And the only reason they got the cat was probably to get rid of vermin, to get rid of mice, rats and pigeons. And I've seen Mecca do it. She's literally grabbed mice and baby rats, and she's had a go at pigeons. And this is when I still had experience with her, you know. So, I mean, I treat my two as if they were family, as if they were my kids, my old girl there and my new boy. You treat them responsibly. You look after them as if they're your own children. You don't treat them like the Flintstones with your saber-toothed tiger, where you literally kick it out at night. It's not like that. That's not how you look after cats. You don't just leave them to fend for themselves. And that's why they end up mooching around, going into other people's property, and it doesn't help when they're not chipped or they're not nobbled, you know, they're not spayed and they're not chipped. People think that they're feral, or you take in a cat and you wonder, you keep an eye in groups and say, oh, my cat is missing or something like that. And when I've picked up Mecca, I found Mecca, she was like this. I deliberately kept an eye on groups on Facebook for weeks and weeks, even not months, and nothing went up, nothing at all. So that whoever her owner is, I'm pretty sure I know now, but it's, some people just don't treat animals as they should. You know, it's really sad. Not responsible enough, you know. More like an embellishment or used. Yeah. It's just their instinct, basically. It's a cat's instinct, and that's what cats do. Mecca does that, and I've even Fermium, he does it too. He came back about 2 or 3 weeks ago with a mouse. It was the same bloody stupid mouse. I tried to rescue it, and then about 4 or 5 days later, he caught it again. So even Fermium's got it, but Esma, I can let Esma out all day and she won't touch a fly. Literally, she won't go near a bird, she won't go near nothing in the garden. Because Esma, she grew up with a pigeon from 2010. I got in 2010. I already had Frankie the Mankey. I had the pigeon, and she grew up from a kitten with the pigeon. So, and he was the one that, as I say, wore the trousers. He only had 1.5 wing, but he used the other way to batter her off. So if she got too close to him, he'd whomp her. But they were great buddies. I could literally leave Esma and the pigeon alone in the flat, free. Crazy, literally. And I'll go out, I'll come home later at night, open the door, and Esma would run up to the door, and then about 3 seconds later, Frankie the pigeon would run up to the door. It's crazy. Yeah, well, this is it. I've seen so much neglect and abandonment and not being treated, you know, infections.
flea infections that have led to death. I mean, in this gaff, the cats that I've seen that have been abused and just not looked after, all of them, pretty much all of them, they've never been, and most of them were not even from this block. One of them was. The man next door, he had a Rastafarian neighbour, and he had a white and black cat called Alex, and he'd had enough of the neighbour and he left, and he left the cat to me pretty much. I had like a teepee in the corner of the garden, but the problem is I couldn't look after him because I had Esma, and she's very, very defensive and territorial of this flat and me. And I said to myself, give it 2 weeks and that cat would be dead. And 2 weeks later, he was fucking dead. He went up to the top of, he went up to shortly before the pub, the Albert Tavern, and he got run over by some electric gates. A car came out and ran him over. I think he just had enough. He didn't want to be left alone. I feel sorry for Alex, because sometimes you can't take everything in. It's just not possible. I mean, I'd love to have looked after Alex, you know, but he had lovely eyes. He's very slim. He was a killing machine as well. He was an absolute killing machine. But then he probably wasn't nobbled, so yeah. I mean, you could have an abused, abandoned or feral cat or kitten now, but Facebook is terrible because it's gone extreme, and anybody sees a cat in their garden, they're instantly triggered. Whose cat is this? And then you get all these people that say, oh, you've got to get it checked out, you've got to get it nobbled and chipped, even if it's not. They instantly go, you've got to have charities take it in, or find out who it is, or just euthanize it, whatever. We've got to a point now where cats are going without owners, and suitable owners are going without cats, because people are so triggered on animal welfare. They're completely triggered on animal welfare now. So, it's so messed up. It's so messed up. Oh, it's gone extreme. Animal welfare's gone extreme. Everybody has their eyes on every single cat, and we've got people just picking them up because they think it looks tired or skinny or malnourished. There's just so many cats now, it's actually stupid. And people, this is probably why it's best to have them nobbled or chipped, or have one litter and then have a cat nobbled. But we're at numbers now, it's just stupid. And a lot of charities, they take in the mother and the kittens, and then some of them, they do the worst. Literally, they'll distribute the kittens to families, and they vet you more than they vet the cat. Yeah, they vet you now more. The charities vet you more than they vet the cat, and a lot of them, they don't even go to the people that need them, the lonely, the elderly, or the disabled. They save them for working to middle class family that live in the flipping country, something like that. And it's just, it's mad, it's crazy. And some, they euthanize the mother. They'll keep the kittens and they'll euthanize the mother. It's hella messed up.
So I feel blessed that Mekity chose me when she did, because since 2015, especially 2017, since 2017, I've gone through so much trauma and death and loss and that kind of stuff. And then Mekity basically chose me. She wanted off the concrete. She was cold, she was wet, she was up the pudding, and she wanted out of it. And then I took her on, and then 14 months later she'd had enough and she went back to the alleyway. But I'm blessed to have had Mekity in that time, because she gave me a boy that I needed. Basically, I needed extra company, and it was nice to actually, for the first time of my life, experience life and birth rather than just constant death all the time, and you know, everything that comes with that. It's like a little hole inside had been filled when them 4 kittens popped out, you know. And now I have Fermium. Sadly, one of the 4 kittens is already gone. Loki, that went to Ashford in Kent, the female black cat. We had 2. We named them 4 and Loki. Loki got hit by a car, unfortunately, but a couple of days later she was replaced by a couple of other cats. And 4's being a good big brother now. But 4 would, after his sister got run over, the couple of 2 or 3 days after that, he was in pieces. You could tell that he was just sitting in the garden staring into blankness. He was lost without his sister. And I deliberately gave Nancy them 2 cats because they seemed to have the strongest bond together. Them 2 were always together. And Fermium and the mirror image tuxedo, they were more independent. The tuxedo was a little bit feisty at times, but the other 2 I gave them to Nancy, and one of them turned out to be male and one was female, so we had 2 males and 2 female kittens in that batch, and unfortunately the female's gone already. Some dickhead run her over. I don't think it was the cat's fault. I think someone probably deliberately swerved to fucking kill her. Oh. Very sad. But she's got 2 more now. She's got a tortoiseshell. She's got a tortoiseshell and a ginger white now, as well as 3 dogs. I don't know how she flipping copes. 3 cats, 3 dogs. It's absolutely crazy. I have enough trouble with 2 cats and a budgie. I'm thinking of a fish tank. Oh, honestly. There's one good thing about Esma, Florine and Fermium, because when I first brought Fermium here into the flat, because I got the budgie in the bedroom, she doesn't react to the budgie at all. She's, because Esma grew up with a pigeon, there's no reaction. She won't go after the budgie, the parakeet, so there's no reaction from the budgie to her. So when Fermium turned up, the budgie didn't react to him either. So basically it's rubbed off on him. So he won't go, Fermium won't go near Silly Billy either. So that's one plus. What she's done is rubbed off on Fermium. So literally I can have him here and he won't touch Silly Billy either. And that's one positive that's happened. She's managed, and the budgie managed to teach him not to be interested in indoor birds, which is good. And I'm thankful for that. Esma's done her job, and I can only thank Frankie, my old pigeon buddy, for that. He was a good friend. He lasted 9 years, that pigeon. That was really good. Good knockings for a pigeon. And I don't really know how old he was when I first got him. It was probably in the months. I'd say it was in the months to a year, so he may have been at least 10 years old. But when I found Frankie in 2009, I was literally walking between Wadham Marsh and Ampere Way on Tramlink, and you got IKEA there, and he'd been hit by a tram. This pigeon had been hit by a tram. It took all the feathers off of his back, and it almost cut his wing off at the elbow. Almost. It was flapping all over the place, sanguine everywhere. So I had to pick him up, and I literally walked into IKEA with this injured pigeon, and I said to them, do you have a flip top box that I can put this pigeon into? And they went away and they found a box for him. So that was originally his box. So there's me with this pigeon in a flip top box. I took him back to the gaff, and of course I had to take the rest of the wing off. So it's barely hanging on at the elbow. It was like 3/4 hanging off. So I had to cut that off. It took about 3 years for that wound to fully heal, to skin over. And when I first got him, Frankie could still fly up about 3 foot, but as he got older, he got lazier. He didn't really bother. He could sort of jump and flap up about 3 foot, but he didn't in the end. He stayed ground level most of the time. And eventually his tail feathers would get pretty messed up. I mean, I had him in a hutch. I mean, this was a hutch that was made out of proper 1960s, 70s panelling. A carpenter made it, so it was a really high quality guinea pig hutch, and I had him in there basically. But his tail would get messed up eventually. So there would come to a point where I'd literally have to hold him tight and then find the base of the tail, and I'd literally have to pluck some of the feathers out because the tips would be so messed up. I would have to try to limit the discomfort, by literally holding the base and pulling the feathers out of his tail, so we could grow new ones, basically, clean new ones. So there was points where he literally had one wing, half a wing, and no tail feathers. But most of the time it's just individual ones. But Frankie was great. And then one morning I just went to his hutch and he was tilted against the side of the hutch like this. He was gone. Just overnight he was tilted. Blech. I did get signs that he was slowing down, probably pigeony old age. He was slowing down, but it was still unexpected because he was a great buddy. And then I buried him at the bottle dump. I went to Elmer's End to the bottle dump, and I've already done digs, and I'll clear all the glass and all the pottery and all that stuff out the hole while I'm digging for bottles. And basically I dug a 2 foot deep hole, and I put Frankie in the bottom of the hole, and I just covered it up again. And then for the next 2 years there was a wild breakout red currant bush next to where he was, and a big rotten trunk. At the other side of the rotten trunk was this red currant, and for the next 2 years this red currant fruited for the first time. So that was a sign from beyond, a thank you sign, and the nutrient from Frankie. it ignited that red currant bush. But after 2 years, that red currant died itself. It had enough. It expunged all its energy basically. What do you want, eh? You shouldn't be up here. No. You shouldn't be up here. Oh, you're going to sit down, are you? Toe rag. Don't knock that phone over. Huh? You shouldn't be up there. I know what you want. I know what you want. Yeah, that's what you want. Yeah, what have you seen? Hmm? Yeah. Yeah. You shouldn't be up here. Go on. Wait. Get down. Get down. Come on. Oh boy. You never know, maybe we won't have to go for 3 hours. It might actually be able to get away with a bit less. But I'm going to have to leave it for a few minutes when I'm finished anyway. I need to do a test basically to see if it's congealing, to see if the jam's congealing. That will take a while for it to just shame I didn't think of it sooner, put that in the ice box, but I didn't. Test of its actually setting, and then it'd just be a case of adding it to the jars. You can tell he's eyeing up the pork pie. He never stops. I just wish I had something to sit on. I don't. That's the only problem. Yeah, but there seems to be mainly harmony in the gaff. Yeah, he's a bit of a toe rag. He's a good boy. He's very soft, and he's not too forward. He's not in your face, but he's slowly learning to keep his distance. But yeah, he shouldn't be up here really. That was Esma grumbling in the background, but he's still here. He's right next to me. Hit another one. Oh, all right. But it won't be long. Soon I'll have to do a test with that jam. I need to do a test. I mean, that's 2 extra jars. I don't know if I need them. I may need them, or may not. I don't know. We'll have to see. But it's bubbling quite well now. But I need to figure out when to take the tester. I think we're not that far away, to be honest. We're not that far away. I just wish the plate was colder, the testing plate was colder. But it's not. Trying to make this plum jam, and I won't have enough time to chill it now, sadly. I should have put it in the ice box before I started, I think. That's what I should have done. Or the day before. But I'm watching the bubbles, and the slower the bubbles get, if they get slower and slower, it means that it's starting to set properly in the jam. There's enough sugar in there, but if it begins to get slower, the bubbles moving, we'll be closer. I'll turn it down again a little bit. We're almost there, to be honest. Well, thanks for joining me anyway. It's an impromptu stream, of course. Fluffy, Hermione and Fluffy. Yes, the fluffster. Yeah, I think he's getting there. Fermium's getting there. He's very food focused, but then again, all cats are really. I mean, not so much Esma. She's very studious now. She's very sensible, but him being a young male, you know, he's still a growing boy, isn't he? But he's just sitting there and he is behaving himself, so which is good. Watching this jam now. Just waiting for it to sort of slow down. I could put my spoon in there and just go around the outside. Yeah, we definitely seem to be getting close, to be honest. It'll be interesting to see the actual colour of it when it's done. Merlin, yeah, that's the black cat, is it? The wild one. Yeah. Fermium's very big. I'm not exactly sure how big. His brother is 4, but I have a feeling that he's bigger. He's got very long legs. He's quite lightweight. I don't feed him a massive amount. I mean, Esma's what, 16, 17 this year, and I've never fed her a massive amount, but then again she stayed brighter for it and intelligent, and health's been good. I've never had any issue with Esma health wise, but then again I don't think it's a good idea to feed a cat a massive amount, you know, 3 times a day. It's not necessary. Also with the dry bickies, they're not good for a cat, to be honest. They don't do a cat's kidneys or liver any good, because a lot of people, they feed their cats the bickies too much, and it's actually given them organ failure, and this has been going for decades and decades and decades. You don't want to feed a cat a load of bickies. What I do, I'll feed Esma or Fermium once a day, but I'll load up all the trimmings on the top. Yeah, I literally just one big portion a day for the cats, and then I just add all the trimmings, and they seem to like it, and it keeps them fit and mobile, you know. I mean, I could give them more, but if it's worked for Esma for what, 16, 17 years, and she's like a little kitten still. You can tell she's getting old, but she's still very vocal, and she's very loving and active despite her age, and it's probably the care I've given her, you know. I don't think it's necessary to feed a cat an enormous amount, because in the wild you look at lions and cheetahs and stuff like that, and they go without days without actually eating. They go for about 2 or 3 days without actually eating, and there's been a case with especially Esma. I've not been able to feed her for a day, and she'll still be fine. She'll be vocal, but she'll still be fine after a big
feed, even if it's taken a couple of days to finally get to it to give some food. Hello, thanks for joining. Currently making plum and elderberry jam, and we're pretty much almost finished now. It's all in the jam boiler, and we'll be doing a test soon to find out if it's setting properly. The bubbles are moving a bit more sluggish now, which is a bit of a sign. And we've got this scum on the side, which is pretty much solid. So we're very close. I thought we'd be here for about 3 hours, but we're not going to be here for 3 hours, thankfully. But yeah, Victoria and a bit of an internet wobble then. Yeah. Victoria, Plum, and a little bit of elderberry. He ate mice and kibble mice. Yeah. Yeah. What was that? It was 20 something. Sorry. I missed something. Fluffy got to about 20. And, oh no, the big C. Yeah, well, yeah. I don't know how this was going to go. I hope it's just old age, to be honest, but you can't guarantee that kind of stuff. But as I said, I don't think it's healthy to feed your cat way too many of the bickies. They're not healthy for cats, to be honest. Here we go. It's not healthy to give them bickies all the time, to be honest. I'll give them a few now, but I'll split 2 lots. But I'll make it my priority not to give them too many. There you go. Now I've got to feed myself. Num 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 num. Num 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 num. She's funny. Oh. Oh dear. Yeah, test coming soon, I think. Num, 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 num. I need to find a place where it's bubbling furiously, so where there won't be quite so much of the... Oh, hang on. Have I got a soup spoon? I don't know. No, I can't see it. Oh well, I'll just have to try and get on with it. And then we'll see if it sets, basically. I've already got some elderberries in there with it. It still looks a bit runny, to be honest. We'll have to see. I might be wrong. It might set, but it does actually still look a little bit on the runny side. Might still have to boil it a bit longer. I'd rather not have to add more sugar to it, to be honest. But there you go. They're both here. The cats are here. Oh. At least 20 got expensive stuff. He didn't want the normal kibble. Yeah, well, this is it with spoiled cats. If maybe not so much you and me, but a lot of people, they literally treat their cats like princes and princesses. They spend so much bloody money on their cat, of food and stuff, and then they wonder why their cat is refusing stuff. It's because you've given a cat too much and they're developing their own preferences. So you'll get used to a product and suddenly the cat won't eat it anymore. Now, I just give these two the basics, you know. I've never had any issue with my cats refusing food, apart from maybe tinned food. I mean, they don't always like tinned food. I know Esma doesn't really like tinned food, but might need more sugar. I didn't want to have to put more sugar in, to be honest. And that's just going to take longer. That's just going to take even longer. I might be alright. I don't know. The plate's not cold, that's the problem. With one, that's not a problem. Yeah, well, I have two cats now, but they're not always together. But Fermium's sister, Kimple Coco, the people that got her named Coco. I was in a very stressful time then. I didn't want to meet them outstairs to give them the cat. I wanted them to come upstairs and give me the money to take the cat. I was very stressed. I was so stressed at the point I didn't remember the actual name that I gave the cat. And they would have accepted it, but I wanted it done. Me being autistic, I wanted it done, and the name wouldn't come back. But I originally named her Kimple, like the VR chat celebrity, the kitty bot VR chat celebrity Kimple. But I was so stressed at the time I didn't remember. But I'll always know her as Kimple anyway. And another thing, people are not imaginative with their cat names, you know. Yeah. Well, this is it. I mean, I've only ever had Esma Florine, and then I decided that now she's getting older, that I wanted another cat, but I never got the opportunity. I know that the charities would never allow me to have one because I'm disabled, I'm unemployed, I am autistic, all them things, and there's no way a charity would let a single person have a cat. So when Esma died, I knew I'd be without. So I wish I could, you know. And then luckily enough, Mekati gave me that chance. She decided she'd had enough of the street. She's roly-poly, she'd had enough. She followed me back, and then I had her for about 14 months before she decided, that's it, I've had enough. I want to get out again. So I had her nobbled, I had her chipped, but I can't get near her. I mean, she'll come up to me, she'll be friendly, she'll rub, but as soon as I move my hand just a tiny little bit to grab her or touch her, boom, she's gone. It's impossible to get hold of Mekati. And yet she's very friendly, and she'll literally follow me here, she'll follow me there. She's wonderful, but she's what they say, or what Quacks, the rapper, would say, married to the streets. That's what Mekati is. She's married to the streets. Quacks with his Duck Music album. She's married to the streets. That's what she is. And she chooses to remain in them 2 blocks and where that alleyway is. So if it's what she wants, if she wants to be wild, and you know, her condition goes up and down, up and down. I've seen a mark on the head where she got something stuck to her head, and
it pulled a bit of hair off and at the base of her tail. And during the summer, she was grubby and dirty and covered in crap. But if I can't get hold of her, you know, I mean, she's happy, and I'm happy to just see her when I can. And she has randomly turned up to the garden, to the greenhouse, and that's why that Victorian cupboard that I made, like mock Victorian cupboard, that's just full of cat treats basically for Fermium and Mecate. And then when she comes round, or when she follows me back from the alleyway, I'll just go into the cupboard and I'll give her a load of treats. This is looking more promising. And that is looking a bit more promising. I think we might be almost there. 3:15 we started, so an hour and 20 minutes. I think we've probably got about another 10 minutes before I can stop this. I'd say another 10 minutes. Well, thanks for joining me. Hoping this is going to be successful. Just got to keep waiting for. I've got a horrible feeling. Come on. I've got this horrible feeling I've got to add more. I really didn't want to have to. It's not really doing it. Oh, I didn't want this, to be honest. Yeah. This is struggling to set a little bit, to be honest. It is struggling slightly. Oh dear. Hopefully it's not actually the elderberries that are stopping it. That would be a bit annoying. Just got to keep stirring it, I guess. It looks alright, it looks fine, but it doesn't. Oh, no. It could be sitting a bit better. If the worst comes to the worst, I'll just have to get on with it. And I can't be standing up hours and hours and hours on end. It's gonna make me feel like crap, to be honest. Just keep stirring it. I'm hoping it's gonna work. Let's see if we can pick this up and take a look. Oh dear. Well, there it is anyway. It's a nice colour, very deep purple. Oh dear. Very deep purple. I'm just hoping that it sets properly. And then when I'm when I'm finished, I should be able to swing the camera around as well. Hopefully I'll still be able to see the chat. So well, and the phone says we're up to 2 hours and 6 minutes. So we've done 2 hours. Hopefully it should be done very soon. But the jam's not as sluggish as I thought it would be, but not by much. But I don't really want to be standing up for hours on end because I'm not getting any younger. But yeah, jam today, making jam today. Plum and elderberry jam with there's a few fennel seeds in there and some lemon juice. So thanks for joining me. I mean, we should be pretty much finished by now. But it seems to be struggling a bit setting. If the worst comes to the worst, might just have to flipping jar it up and, you know, you'll have to be running. If that's the case, you know, I've never had a batch that hasn't set properly. I can't see it being the elderberries. It might be, I doubt it though, somehow. It'd be a bit weird. I've added another well, less than a third of the special sugar in. I'd rather I didn't have to be honest. Oh, and I don't want to stand up for too much longer, to be honest. Oh, right. Testing spoon again. Get rid of that water. We don't really want water on the plate. A bowl of water. But maybe it just needs a little bit more time. I don't know. Two hours, 10 minutes, pretty much. That's 2 extra jars there. It might be done now. This is no, I'd put citric acid in it to get rid of the lime scale. Might be able to clean that up. Yeah, that's done now. Get rid of all that lime scale. It was basically the top to an LED lamp, garden LED lamp. Oh, that's got into a cut. Oh, yeah. I can feel it. It's got into a cut. That's citric acid. Crackle glass. Fran and Mikey have got some of these. They got them from Tesco, but their ones changed colours, and they seem to be doing a lot better than the ones I had. The ones I bought, they didn't seem to last, to be honest. I'll take that to the Olds flat, and then I'll just put water in them. And if there are any birds left, they can take a drink out of them. So basically that's how it is. And then if the birds want to drink out of them, they can. Not crackle glass. Alright. Let's do another test. I'm hoping that this is it. If not, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed. Still don't look brilliant. Looks a bit richer. Again, it might just be time. It might just be a time thing. Or maybe there's still too much water in it. That might be what it is. It just needs boiling down. There's still too much water in it. But I did add extra water. And that's probably what it is. It just needs to get rid of some of that extra moisture. But I've also got it in the spoon as well. There's a little bit in the spoon as well as on the dish. That actually does look slightly better. That does look slightly better actually. It might just be moisture content. I needed to get rid of a little bit more of the water that was in here. I missed that. The glass, yeah, it's like a crackle glass. Yeah. And then it went the other way up like that, and then there's an LED light underneath. Solar powered. And I'm just using them as like water bowl things in the old flat garden. That's a little better. Not perfect, but it's a little better. Still not perfect. I think it's just a moisture thing. We need to get rid of a little bit more water. So we might actually be a little bit longer. Well, if you've got any questions, now's the time, I guess. Any questions for DJ? I may as well start the question and answer session. I wish I had somewhere to sit, but I don't really. I don't think I've got anything high enough to sit on either. So if anyone wants to ask a question or two, whether it be garden related or food related or anything else, gaming or I don't know, pets. But now will be the time. I can't think of anything I can. I mean, we've got one of these baskets here. I don't think it's high enough though. Found this the other day. It's not copper that I know of. It's like a plastic copper cover thing. Here is a test, I suppose. See if it's magnetic. Yeah, it's magnetic, so that's definitely not copper. It's like a electrolysis copper, and then it's been covered with plastic basically. It looks like it's copper, but it's not, because it's magnetic. So I found that about a week ago. But any questions, fire away. Basket still too low. Still too low, really. But we're there. That's about borderline as low as I want to be. What's the time? 10:02. We'll give it a little longer, and hopefully it will have lost enough water moisture that it will set. The plum tree at the allotment, the Black Victoria plum. Oh boy. Funny thing is, I don't actually remember how long it's been there. It's not been there too long, but I don't actually remember exactly when I planted it. But I'd say it's been about 10 years or so. It's one of the more recent additions to the allotment. But as you can see, we've got some really big, dark purple blue plums. The flesh inside is yellow, and we've had a very good crop this year. But the tree itself, that particular plum, I've been trying to get a tree to grow in that spot for years. I've had cherries there, I've had shrubs, I've had all kinds of stuff, and another plum, but for some reason it didn't take. They didn't take, and this is the first tree in that particular spot that actually grew and took, and it's got quite big, thankfully. And last year I got fruit off of it, not as much as this year. There's still half of it over there, hopefully it hasn't been nicked, but last year we got fruit on it, and the previous 4 years they all got nicked. Someone was nicking them, so I didn't get any. But last year I literally netted the whole tree to protect it, and I did get fruit last year, but I never made jam out of them. I just ate them and gave them away as they were. I've also got the Mirabelle plum. I've got some yellow plums at the Olds flat. I've also got the Mirabelle plum over the allotment. It's Saturday, so I mean, I might try and get some more Mirabelle plums, but the problem is they're so small and you have to individually take the stones out. I've got more yellow plums. I could search around and find more. I could do a second batch of plum, but I might need more jars. I don't know. This is the issue. Oh, fruit trees. And the sad thing is, last year I bought 2 more trees. I got 3. I got the birch tree that I planted in the front of the Olds flat. It's fine now, but it struggled during the summer. It was dropping leaves prematurely. The birch was dropping leaves prematurely. The apple, the Lord Derby Cooker apple that I planted on the allotment, it struggled a bit as well, but it's cooling down now, so it should get through. Unfortunately, the other plum that I put in, Plum Avalon, I've got a feeling it's not going to make it. 75 quid that cost me, and I think it's got a bacterial infection, bacterial canker. I don't think that one's going to survive, which is a shame. And that's another spot on the allotment I've tried to plant trees and they've not taken. From fruit trees to a holly and now this Avalon plum, and I don't think this one's going to survive. Oh, bloody hell, Furman. So unfortunately I think that Avalon plum's not going to make it. So I'll probably have to dig it up
sort the ground out, and then I might try again next year with a cheaper tree. I might try again with another cheaper tree. I would have loved another plum to, you know, the ratio of apple to plum. The pear tree, we had a wet June last year. 2024 June was very wet, and I had no less than 12 pears on that pear tree. First time I've had pears on it for about 22, 23 years. This year, one, and it didn't come to nothing. So it's all about it's all about microclimate, basically. If you don't have the right climate for a particular tree, Mirabelle, it's official what that tree is. It's definitely a Mirabelle plum. I've made jam out of the Mirabelle, but I'm sure you can cut them, de-stone them, and put them onto a flan as well. I've known them to be put on a flan as well. I've never done it myself. I've only ever made jam or made it, eat them fresh. They're only little yellow plums, but that's the most I've ever had on that tree. And right now they will be all over the floor ready for the picking. Some of them will be rotten, but hopefully I can get enough to fill up a small punnet, add it with some other yellow plums, then I might be able to make a second batch of plum jam. Yeah, they are very small, the Mirabelle plums. Right, this is looking a lot better. Cool, fuck me. I better turn it down a bit. What is that? I think it's just... Cool. Right, this is the one I've done just now. Yeah, there you go. There you go, look, that is much better. That is much, much better. That's not got much traction at all. That's much more solid. I think we're done. It needed just that little bit extra sugar and to evaporate a little bit of moisture from the mix. Even that bit on the plate, it's not as good as what's on the spoon, but I think we're done. I think we're done now. How many jars are we going to fill up? 8 jars, 6 jars, 5 jars? I think we're done. Oh, right. Oh, what a mess. Yeah, the Mirabelle plum, yeah. My Mirabelle plum came from the ruined sports centre at Annerley. Yeah, you may have seen the video. I went to the derelict sports centre Annerley to check out the graffiti. That's when the Mirabelle plum originally came from. It was basically in a little copse outside one of the main buildings, and I dug a couple up in 2010. I planted one at the allotment and one on the railway park allotment. The one at the railway park allotment's not grown anything like the one on my proper allotment, and nor do I think it's ever fruited, but oh well. Oh dear. But yeah, it came from the ruined sports centre, funnily enough. Well, I used to do the graffiti. My head is starting to piss me off just a little bit. Just a little bit. Right, where's that funnel?
I did have like a big funnel somewhere. I don't want to have to really pour it direct. If I can help it. Where is it? There it is. No, the end is a bit tight, really. I mean, that would catch. Oh, I don't know. I'll give it a go, but it might not let it through. I might just have to pour it straight into the jar, to be honest. Add some more cat food for Esma. She was getting a bit low. Yeah, that's definitely ready. Very rich. Very rich. We're not quite done yet, but thanks for joining me. We've managed to get there. Got to be very, very, very careful. I think I may have no chance. I think I've got to just pour it straight in, to be honest. And we may have enough jars, we may not need the extra jars. May only get 4 or 5. But I'm going to leave it a couple of minutes. Leave it a couple of minutes, I think. Oh, my head. It's that time of day when my head starts to piss me off for no reason every day. But yeah, any more questions, just let me know. I'm going to get up in a couple of minutes because I need to pour it on. I'll leave it for a few. Where's my pie? But yeah, if you want to, despite the gaming videos, if you want to check out DJ Puff the Third, there's more videos there to be keeping you busy, to be honest. There's loads, very, very content. I mean, I'm not really digging bottles so much now. I'd love to do at least one dig this year. It's just that I've been so busy. I found, I went to the local park. I did share a picture of it in community on YouTube. I found an old inkwell, and it was very good condition, very nice colour, literally just sitting on the surface. I plucked it out of the path. I've turned the surface over there before with a fork. It's a particular spot that seems to be bringing stuff up, and the ginger beer bottle, that's the weight on the back of this thing is actually what I dug from that spot as well. There's a couple of other bottles that I found there too, so at least 1890, which is a good age. I don't know if I can find the prairie flower bottle. I can try and look for it. Right, but where I found that that inkwell, I also found these two items. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, it's I turn the fan on unless it's your end, but I had to turn the fan on for a couple of minutes. Yeah. So this is the pot lid, the transferred pot lid that I found literally in the top of the path, and I did actually do a video. I was literally just digging it out the ground with a litter picker. But this is the pot lid that I found, and that's about 1890. And we've also got Sequoia, I think it's, the brand is Prairie Flower. It's basically a Dr. Quack bottle, but it managed to get to the UK as well. Sequuah. Prairie Flower. It's a Dr. Quack bottle basically, and that was found on that path as well. I dug it up, and we've got this other one, but I'd literally have to replace. I'd literally have to replace this bottle here, because I'm actually using it to. Hang on. It's bound to end in disaster because it wants to go somewhere else. Come on. In the way, but oh dear. Oh fucking hell, that's annoying. That's annoying. Oh, is it swapped round? Yeah, it's swapped round. Oh, sorry about that. This is not going to be as easy as I thought it would be. We'll just have to turn it round, sorry. Oh, if it'll work. Sorry, hand over the camera again. This one, a ginger beer. I found this ginger beer as well. Sorry about that. White ginger beer. It's because I don't have the tripod with me. If I had the tripod with me, it wouldn't be such a problem. And this is actually a ginger beer bottle, not ginger ale, it's ginger beer. White London. Elderberry cordial. Yeah, if you got the elderberries, yeah. So that's White London. There's a bit of a chip on the top. There's a pretty bad chip on the top. It was already there, I think. And you saw the inkwell too. So there's some good stuff coming out of there. There's definitely some good stuff coming out of there. Oh dear, that's really annoying. Is this really not heavy enough? I was hoping that would be heavy enough. Oh. That's a problem when you're doing low technology. And now you can see the mess from the elderberries and all the other stuff that's here. Oh dear. Because it's not positioned as high as it was before, which is a shame. I'll get rid of all this crap. Oh dear. Oh. Right, we should be able to pour this jam now. But as you see, we had that pot lid and the Prairie Flower, Sequoia Prairie Flower bottle and the ginger beer, and they came from that path. And the inkwell. And the funny thing is with the inkwell, it's a cottage type, and it's pen rest. It's either called pen rest or cottage type inkwell, and I've actually got another one. I was hoping for another new one because I wanted a collection one, but the one I got before, I literally painted it up to look like a house. It's a cottage ink, and I literally painted it up to look like a cottage. I'll go get it. I think it's because it was slightly damaged anyway. There's a little bit of a chip on the top. It was slightly damaged, so I thought I might try and paint it up to look like a house. So this is an inkwell too, the same as the other one, but I've actually got Uni Posca paint pens and I painted it up to look like a house. Yeah, you can see I've painted it up. I don't know if I can, there. And there's the roof as well. And the back, or even no, that's the back. That's the back. Or painted it to look like the back. And I painted this to look like 1890s style with the different colour of the brick and the red stripes in the brickwork. Yeah. And that little white sliver on the top there, you see there's a tiny little white sliver, and that's sort of a road name. You can't see any letters on it, but it represents the name of a road and the metal cast iron name of the road, and they've stuck it on the end of the house, so it could be Pear Tree Court for all we know. But that's what I've done with the other inkwell. I literally painted it to look like a house. Yeah. And I've done another one which is probably a man wiring bottle, but it's not actually. That one's had a chip off of it, sadly. Someone's chipped it. And I painted this one as well, but it's more like a fairy door design. And you can see the doorstep and a little bit of grass either side. Oversized chimney. And then on the back, we'll go around the back. You see how I painted it up almost like post-medieval, post-medieval look, with the diamond window, like 1700s diamond window frame, and a little well or bucket of water there. So this is what I've done for the Uni Posca pens. I've literally painted these ink bottles or bottles up to look like houses. I'd love to do some more. You can see that it's actually recessed. The bottle, the panel where the sticker was, is actually recessed, so it actually looks like it's yeah. So I'd love to do more of that. Yeah, I'd love to do more of this. Right, jam. Let's get this thing out of the way and start pouring before it's too late. Oh boy. Oh God. Will it end in disaster? How many jars will we get? 4? We may not actually have as much. Maybe even 3.5. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get that much. Ow. We might get 3.5 max. I thought we'd get more than that. We might only get 4 maybe. So yeah, if I find more ink wells, it'd be nice to keep painting them up like cottages, houses. I think we're going to get 4. Or 4 and a tiny little bit. 4 and a little bit. I don't know. I'm wondering if I should actually show my clay pipes as well, because I've done a very similar job to them clay pipes. I went mudlarking on the Thames, and I got a load of sections of clay pipe and bowls, and basically I matched them all up and tried to make complete clay pipes out of the fragments basically. And then I got Uniposca pens again, painted them brown, and I used masking tape for the joints, and then painted the masking tape black, and then I sprayed it all with fixative basically. So I got 3 reconditioned clay pipes in the front room, which is a similar job to what I've done with the cottages. Let's see if we can fill 3/4 of another one. I think we might just be able to get about 3/4 of another one. No, might fill it up. Yeah, we got 5. We got 5. There we go. Look, we got 5 of them. Let's see if I can lift this up without having another disaster. Probably not. Right. Slightly better, not much better, but slightly better. I'll get them clay pipes while I'm at it. While I've done the cottages, I'll do the clay pipes as well. Right, pipes. Mudlarkers for a while. I've not seen them for a while. Yeah, it depends which mudlarker. Some of them move on to do other things, but I think I only follow Chill Bill. I think he's the only one, and then he moved to France and he's metal detecting. So I'm not really following many mudlarkers, not Sci-Fines or Nicola White or something. Plum Jam, yeah. Anyway, this is one of the clay pipes I literally reconditioned some years ago, London. I estimated 1760 was the age of the pipe to 2015, so I reconditioned it in 2015. And you can see that 1700 bowl, particular design, JM. So I reconditioned that bowl, and I tried to do some spots on the front a little bit like the wheat or lavender type spots, and I painted it all brown with a Uniposca pen, and then we got the joins. The black masking tape is where the joins are basically, and then it's got Kim, Sarah and John. So Kim was my ex, Sarah was the Italian lady. We met an Italian lady. We used to do mudlarking with Sarah Canizaro, I think, Sanizaro was her name, I think, and John. and you can see on the back of it that green patch is where it was actually lit up. We actually put a bit of weed in there and my ex was puffing away on the bed. So there's an old video somewhere of my ex sitting on the bed with that massive easy graffiti board in the background, and she's puffing away on this pipe. This was the only one we used for that anyway. So, and it's not too long, but that's about 1700s. That there's another one that's slightly longer. You can see that this is slightly longer. It's almost preacher's length or church warden's length. Even in America they would use these things back in the day, and they would be very, very long. And this is reconditioned, and it's quite long. You still have to be delicate with it, to be honest. And there was they said that there was tuberculosis or something like that. I'm not sure what it was, and it was spread mouth to mouth. So what they do, one person would smoke on the pipe, and then they'd snap a little bit off, pass it to the next person, and then snap another little bit off. And that's why they were so long, because they were constantly snapping bits off, apparently because they didn't want to transmit anything. Yeah, so that's why you very rarely find these complete. I mean, you do find them complete, but very rarely. I only have one complete clay pipe, and it's very small. It's like a child's thing, or just for show. But you can see again, we've got the masking tape. I've painted it black. Everything else is brown, and then on the end I've done like a lavender, a double lavender on there, like a double lavender. And then we've got another one which is slightly different. It's got more modern pieces, and this time Victorian. You can see by the bowl, the shape of the bowl, that this is Victorian. It's not 1700s, it's 1800s, maybe even later. Could even be early 1900s, 1920 or something like that. But as you can see, the bowl is still white. It's raw. And then I've got the masking tape section. That's where the join is. I've done a little bit of gold around there. And then we've got brown, another join, brown, another join. So I've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4 different sections of pipe in this one that I've put into it. And at the end you can see it's actually flat. This one's actually flat. So that is the proper end of a pipe. And that is the proper end of it. Yeah. So that one looks a little bit different in the colour department. I'll try and find the actual complete one I've got. Here we are. And this one is its original colour. This one came from Mitcham, the Mitcham dump. So this was about 2016, I would have thought. And this is minuscule. It's complete, but it's minuscule. And I think this is what they called a penny pipe. I can't see the detail on it. There's there's an anchor on one side. There's a ship's anchor on one side. And there's some other stuff. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, ship. There's actually a ship on the other side. So we've got anchor on one side and a ship on the other, which is interesting. You can tell that it has been used. the colours changed on one side and on the bowl. So it was used, and I think this is what they used to call a penny pipe, where you buy one, you'd use it, and then you'd throw it away. It came with tobacco already in it. So tiny little thing, and this is the only complete one that I've got. It's absolutely tiny. You can see anchor on that side, ship's anchor, and then on the other side there's actually a boat on it. Yeah, very nice, but very small. Yeah, not a penny pipe. There may have been already tobacco in it, and it's, yeah. But they decided they weren't going to snap it or break it. They just left it as it was. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jars of jam. We got 5 jars out. I thought we might have a bit more than that, but 5 isn't too bad, to be honest. We had to throw out about 10 plums because they weren't no good. But there wouldn't have been much more. We wouldn't have got another jar with 10 more. We would have probably got about half to 3/4 of another jar, so we've done pretty well. And that's basically what's left in there. Just a plum and elder purple mess. Of course it tastes lovely, but still warm. Oh, lovely. There's a little bit of smokiness in there. Tiny little bit of smokiness. Glutinous, sweetness, lovely sweetness. And then you get that little tiny crunch from the elder skins and the seeds in the elderberries. I've still got, I might have to get more jam sugar and another bag of normal sugar. I'll have to see if I manage to get any more plums. I may make a second batch. I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got another 5 jars. We could probably empty that one. Potentially got more jars that we could use, so it's not impossible. I might be able to make more. It might not necessarily be purple stuff though. That's all. It might not be purple plum. It might be yellow next time. The Mirabelle, another plums that are with the Mirabelle. The only problems with the Mirabelles, they're very small. And you have to stone them individually. This is the problem. Oh, fuck me. That fennel's really coming through. Can taste the fennel. And that elder's giving it that richness. It's not a flavoursome richness. It's like a creamy. You got sweet, and you got the creaminess of the elderberry, and then you got the sweetness, and then the aniseed from the fennel comes through, and oh, that's really nice. That. One more. God, flipping it, that is lovely. But yeah, if you can make jam, if you've got fruits out and about, definitely go for it. Plums are really good for making jam. Definitely. There's a bit of lemon in there as well.
That's really good. That's really good. You took a little bit extra sugar and had to evaporate a little bit of water, but that's turned out to be really nice.
Probably one of the best ones I've made, I think, flavour wise. Better soak this, I think. We're going to need to soak it a bit. Because naturally, with all that sugar in there, it's going to be very sweet. But the lemon, not the lemon, the fennel. The fennel seems to negate some of the sweetness. It brings forward a bit of aniseed, and the elderberries sort of made a bit of a creaminess as well. Anyway, we'll bring it over. Yeah. Very dark, very rich colour to that. Very hot still. It's going to take a while for that to cool down, but that's plum and elderberry jam with fennel seed, a bit of lemon, and oh god, yeah, lovely, very nice fennel seed. That's very nice. It's just a case of waiting for that to cool down now. And I think that is about it. Oh my god. That is about it. There comes Esma Florine. There's Esma. They're both really good cats, they really are. Esma is very, very, very clingy now. I mean, she's got to that age, she's become quite clingy. And even last night and this morning, she'll be right up near my neck. She wants to be with me, but Fermium is about 2 foot away. She's got her eye on him, you know. She's got her eye on him, but she's tried to get as close to me as she possibly can, the old girl. And they both want company, but it's just building that toleration between the two of them. The young boy needs to realise that she doesn't want to play. She doesn't want to be jumped at. This is the issue. Esma doesn't want to be. She's too old for that. She doesn't want to be advanced on too much. She's rubbing up and everything. Anyway, I think that is probably going to be it. Thanks for joining me. Give us a thumb up if you like. And this, yeah, she wants love. This live will go up eventually. It would take a while, but it will go up eventually. You'll be able to watch it again, or share it, or someone else will watch it. Thanks for sticking around with me, Hermione, for the duration. My God, you've been going for 3 hours, or pretty much. And I've been pretty clear today. I've been talking pretty good, which is thankfully, apart from my head is a little bit sore, but remember I was up till about 5 o'clock, or almost 5 o'clock at the deaf meet on Garden Line, so about 5 o'clock I went to bed, so yeah, no shenanigans. Yeah, I've been pretty sensible today. Anyway, I think we're going to end it there, and eventually this video will go up. It'll probably take till tomorrow to process properly. And yeah, I think we've done very well. I think it's actually one of my best jams to date, although it took a little bit more sugar because it looked like it wasn't going to set properly. I'd had another third of a bag of special sugar, and literally
boil it a bit more. I think there was a bit too much water in there, so it had to evaporate some water before it was ready. Anyway, thanks for stopping by for DJ's 2025 jam making escapade. So we've done well. We got 5 jars out of it. I pulled it off. I actually thought before I started that I was going to struggle. I thought my ears and my head were going to really piss me off, but and I didn't think I'd be standing up this long, but I've actually done all right. We've got up to 3 hours now, so we're going to end it here. Thanks, everyone. It's a DJ signing out. 3 hours worth.